is Roger Bishop. I'm a library specialist at Cooper Library, and I've worked here for just over a year. Okay, cool. So the services desk, we're actually a single service point, which means that we've got circulation and reference librarians on staff. So if you need to check out a calculator, a camcorder, phone charger, if you need to know where a book is, where the restrooms are, you can ask circulation. But if you need some more in-depth research, you can also ask one of the reference librarians. So we kind of have it all here in one package, I guess, which is pretty cool. Yeah. About this library, we celebrated 50 years last year, 2016. It was this library was erected in 1966. It was originally, the library at Clemson started, as far as I know, in Sykes Hall. Obviously, Clemson grew to a size that could no longer support that space. The fifth floor was always there, and the sixth floor was a later construction. So along the building has constantly been updated with new things. Obviously, the Adobe Studio is very new. Starbucks is a very recent addition. I actually didn't go to Clemson. This is my first full-time appointment outside of college. I went to Winthrop, so the Clemson sister school, so I know a little bit about Clemson and some of the history. We have a Tillman Hall, we have a Kynard at Winthrop, so there's a little bit of similarities, but obviously Clemson is far grander than what I'm used to. But yeah, I think in terms of any other history, geez, I don't know. The only secret book, obviously, is the senior book that everybody likes to sign. I'm sure you guys know about that. We actually keep the current one here in circulation. So FYI to the world, if you want to check out the secret book, just come and ask me. Don't be cryptic, don't be shady. That just makes my job more difficult. But so we have that special collections, which is currently on the third floor right now while they're renovating Strom Thurmond. They have all of the past editions and the original one, like the book that originally was started for that whole project. So they have all of those housed there. Secret passages, no, I mean, there's stairwells that people don't use, like on the corners and stuff, that is typically used by staff or in an emergency. But no secret passages that I've been aware of so far. But I'll find out. Yeah. I really like the student interaction. I spend a couple hours on the desk every day, so I really enjoy interacting with patrons, whether it's undergrad, grad, faculty, community patrons. It's a public library, so we get to serve all of the different populations, which is really nice. I have a customer service background. I worked in the restaurant industry for years, so this is kind of a natural thing for me, even though it's kind of outside of my traditional field of expertise. But I like that. I like the people that I work with. It's definitely not a boring place. We've got some really cool characters here, but I don't want to say that too loud, but yeah. I would change the way that different departments on campus interact with the library. For example, and this is just my opinion, I'm sure that it's probably reciprocated in a lot of individuals here and campus-wide, but I just don't feel like there's enough interaction between individual departments and their professors and the library. Obviously, the library in general has been around for since the dawn of time, and we all know, especially at Clemson, where it is, how to use it, how to go check out a book. Obviously, if you need something, you can come here and ask. But I would like to see more involvement with professors in the library, more involvement with students in their classes here. Yeah, that would be my answer, definitely.
All right, my name is Jawan Ford. I work for printing and plotting, and I've been here for about a year now. So printing and plotting basically is our little office, and what we do is we service all the printers on campus, such as the ones in the library. So if they're broken, someone notifies us and we go fix them. We also fill them with paper. We fix any connectivity issues with the kiosk to the printer, and we also help people print plots. And if you wonder what plots are, they're basically posters. So let's say you have a chem lab poster due, you would contact us and we'd help you print it. Basically, the people who can print from our plotters are students, grad students, and faculty members. So I would think that one improvement that Cooper could make is communication from different departments, such as letting us know quicker about the problems that printers have, so we don't have a bunch of students come down and notify us individually, and that way we can fix this process and make it more efficient. Yes, we actually handle most of the printers on campus. There are some exceptions, like the one at Core is not ours, but the ones in Serene, Martin, Brackett, Lowry, the one in Burns, the one in Calhoun Corinth, and Lightsey are also ours. all the ones in Cooper, and the one in Stadium Suites. The main thing that I like about working in the library is the atmosphere. It's still a real job, but it doesn't have that job mentality. Like, it's not as strict as a normal job would be.
Is it true printing your first plot is free? Is that true?
No, that is not true. I'm afraid your first plot will cost you money. That is a myth that has been created, and I don't know where it originated from. But it's not true. Keep that in mind. One thing that a lot of people ask me is like a size constraint, and I'm just going to say you can print whatever you want at whatever size as long as one side is no bigger than 42 inches, because we only have 42-inch paper. That's as big as it goes. But you can have something 42 by however wide you want. I've seen some like 10-foot posters around homecoming for the floats. They can be, God, like 20 foot. It's kind of insane.
All right, so my name is Christian Padron. I'm a student worker at CCIT. CCIT, if you don't know, is our Clemson IT department, where if your computer is acting up or if you have any issues with software, this is where you would go. It's in the second floor of the Cooper Library.
What's nice about working in the library itself?
Well, it's in the center of campus essentially, so once you're working here, if you have class to go to, it's usually not too difficult, and also since it's in the center of campus, it's not that hard to find usually. So
how many people do you service?
During the normal semester, probably during a 6-hour shift, probably around upwards of 50 people, probably, if it's pretty busy, which is normal. But the amount of problems that come in here are wide-ranging, so each one could take a different amount of time, depending on what the root of the problem is. So as long as you are a part of Clemson's network, as in as long as you have a Clemson username, you can pretty much access us. We also do help people just with general issues, regardless of where they're from most of the time. But if you want access to Clemson software and services, then as long as you're a part of our network, it should be fine. Maybe not CCIT in general, but definitely a good service to use that is often overlooked is our backup services, such as the cloud backup like Google Drive or the Box and whatnot. That stuff is very valuable. We have a lot of cases of lost data because of hard drive crashes or other unforeseen problems. But if you back up your data regularly, it's usually a huge time saver, also stress saver, I guess you could say. But that's definitely my number one tip, is make use of backup and make sure that you're always up to date.
All right, if there's something you could provide or improve about the library here or your workspace here, what would it be?
I guess just making it more streamlined, more fluid. But other than that, it seems to be pretty usable, pretty serviceable most of the time.
So would you say it's hard to communicate with different departments in the library?
I wouldn't say that. We have a pretty good email network going on with our departments. So if we have specific problems, we know who to send it to. Sometimes we do get, I guess you could say, warranty fraud, where people just kind of toss their laptop into the lake and then try to get it replaced because it's old. But we have some measures against that. But in terms of weird stuff, it's usually not too much weird. Usually we know what we're dealing with, so.
My name is Daniel Speaks. I'm a lead and certified barista trainer here at Starbucks at the Cooper Library. I've been working here since December, so that's just a few months. This Starbucks came into the library. It started as a project in December of last year, I believe. We just opened up in January, so this was when the project was completed.
During the work week or school week, how busy would you say it gets in here?
Oh, I say we serve close to 1,000 students in a morning.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it's pretty busy in the mornings. Throughout the afternoon, we close at 1 a.m. So we're here all day as long as students are here, basically.
What would you say are the positives and negatives of having the Starbucks in the library?
The negatives would be, as far as being a student, from my experience, is seating space. A lot of people like to come here in the mornings and afternoons to chill, have a latte, and study, and that leaves a lot of space being taken up, not enough space in the library for a lot of other students. But the plus is this is a great meeting ground for a lot of organizations and students who need group projects done, meetings done. I mean, this is a great lounge space. I mean, you can come here to clear your head, do work, do whatever you need to do. So I mean, it's a great addition to the library, I believe.